If I do it, who will know it? This is the logic behind it. This is the one our mind occupies. If nobody's looking, let's do it, no problem. But when you feel you have a certain faith in your God, then you feel like the God created us to become a good human being, to help other human beings, brothers and sisters. So then you have something to keep your mind, right, to focus on. And then in Buddhism, we talk about karma. Then saying, if you do something bad, you have to pay the price. So, if you plant a flowers, you put a flower seed, and then try to grow something, only the flower will grow, not a rice or coconut tree or other trees won't grow. Because the concordant. So how do you explain that?
Like the cause and the result need to be concordant.
Oh, okay. Cause and the result needs to be concordant, suitable. So, and then we believe about the karma. And sometimes one person said, sometimes it's really difficult, like people who believe in God, people who believe in karma. It's really difficult because if you find a bag of $1 million in that, and there's nobody, but it's left on the road. So, what should we do? If we don't believe in God and everything, I will just take it and be happy with it. But if you believe in God, then you feel like somebody's watching on you, or looking at you. Then also in the karma it's the same thing, right? So you don't have a right to just take it away. It is somebody's property. So I try my best, give him best answer, but he's not satisfied. Sometimes our mind, you see, when we talk about this kind of thing, if you don't see people, the person who is asking me the question is, he really think the money is important. And then that people, some like a person with a kind heart, like, oh, this $1 million who lost, somebody lost it, must be in a big tension. So I must try to find that person and give it back. That's a big concern for other. But this is in a different level of thinking. In our text, in a Buddhist text, it's thinking about others. It's more important than thinking yourself. So it's a difficult practice. But this is a big question. He thinks like that. I also have same thinking like this. So we need to think why I am important than him, or he is more important than me. So then Shantideva wrote a whole book of way of Bodhisattva's life. So then, that's why sometimes, if you don't carefully look at Bodhisattva's way of practice, then you might think, this is what's happening with this person. So right in the time of this period, I think, now this is the century. It's a century that we have to put others above than you. That doesn't mean you eat less and give more to others. That this is a century that I'm thinking that we are educated. And now, through this education, how to contribute and make other people more educated, and then enlighten them and show the right path. So, lots of talking. So, go back to the Shantideva's text here. He talks about the 10 non-virtue. So maybe it will be helpful for all of us to know a little bit about it. Maybe I'm sure you have heard it and know it, but then let's see about that. So because this is a common practice of all religion. Or religion talks about it. So if you don't have this kind of what do we call it, commitment, or what preceptor? So vows, then it is difficult to. It will be difficult for yourself and for others. So do we have still time or what?
Quarter of an hour?
What's that?
About 15 minutes.
Okay. Stop at 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So, so when we talk about action of our body, so killing. So killing, stealing, all these things. But then here, His Holiness Dalai Lama gives a very good example or explanation. So, this killing is not just killing like small ants, but it could be related. But here, the main concern is the human life, taking away human life. And then the second is stealing. Then when we here talk about stealing, that stealing a candy from a store, that is related, but the main point is stealing such a big amount that the owner really gets such a strong tension or something. So, and then how you translate volume?
Sexual misconduct.
Yes, sexual misconduct. So then, this is for biggest issue in a family. So here, Shantideva talks about this, and okay, this is 3 of action of body, silhouette, action of body. Because in order to
Exhaust the karma.
exhaust the karma or to exhaust the karma or the action, you need this physical body to do the action. Otherwise, just thinking, it won't harm others or yourself. Then, Jun Tamat Siksu Machel, so you need to help me to walk this one. So then the four non-virtues of speech, right? So then when we talk about telling lie, this is a big lie. What does big lie means? Something that you haven't seen a God, then you are saying, I have seen the God. And you don't remember your past life, you're saying, I remember my past life. So those are the big lies which you will influence or trick others. And then these days, so you should be very careful. And especially Israel. Now, so many people now these days do through the Dharma friends, and they invite Rinpoches. And later on, there will be so many lamas, lama who are some monks, some are not monks like me, and some, there will be so many people coming to Israel in future. And then you people should be very concerned and check whether that person is telling lie or not, right? So you people are educated, so you can do lots of research on that person. Please do research on me. I'm not saying don't do on me. So in Tibet, it's a big problem. Not in Tibet, just it's still in Tibet, but then like in China, because mainland China, lots of Buddhist population there, so they invite many Rinpoches, and then Geshes. So then some lamas go down there in China and give teachings, and then they don't give really main points, but then they do rituals, perform rituals, and then they take lots of money from the donation as a donation, and then they leave so many make so many trouble. So then one time from China, some people informed His Holiness to say something on this issue. And His Holiness said, I'm in India, so even I try to say something, it might not reach this message in China. So now it is time you people do your own research and then see what the qualities of the Lama or the Rinpoche should be. So then check whether that person is the right person or not. So that Jun, the big lie, so the other lamas are saying, I'm the reincarnation of this big, high masters and something, and then people go, and then slowly he takes away the money and takes away so many things and then big trouble there. So that's why it becomes most dangerous for the people who believes in religion. It becomes big trouble because they have a faith, and then some people might use this faith as an advantage, and they take so many advantages. So then Tama. So Tama, how do you?
Divisive speech.
Yeah. So especially this one is for like in the monk system. Then they say that monk is saying something bad to that monk, and then something bad to you. So same thing in our community. In any community, like for an example, Dharma friend, right? Dharma friends. There's S, right? Dharma friends. It's a new kind of new. What do you call it? What do you call it?
NGO.
What's that?
NGO.
NGO? Organization? Yeah. Organization. So, in order to stay very connected to each other, you should be aware of whether second person, third person is using these or not. So, you should be very concerned about that. Tama. Tsenzhab is how you say that?
Harsh words.
Harsh words. Harsh words is in Israel when people got really angry, they say something bad things, right? In America, so they say something bad words, and then it is a key to bring the aversion or the anger very quickly. So this is something we have to check whether you're seeing this is a negative or not. Then ngachil is the most common thing in us. It's gossip. We love gossip, right? So it's the best time passing. So we love gossip. But I think I love gossip, so I make little differentiate. So when we talk about some good things, it's okay, right? So then when we talk a little bit more about nonsense or something more about something, it gives you more attachment, then more anger. So those are the real gossips. Other than like, where are you going tomorrow? What's your plan for tomorrow? All this, I don't put that in gossip. But this is nothing too much to gossip about. Gossip is something like you make small talk a big, and then you're interesting, and then you say something bad about other person. Whenever you use, it is very funny because when you say something good about other person, it is not interesting. And when we talk about something bad about the person, then the voice goes slowly, and then you just didn't hear that. Everybody goes, wow. So it's really funny, right? So this is one thing that one of the scientists said. The human nature is, what do we call it?
Is naturally rough.
Naturally rough. But then His Holiness on the other side is saying human nature is what do we call? Gentle. Because we love gentle, because His Holiness it's in the text, but then His Holiness, when he talked about scientists, then scientists came up with one scientist came up with this experiment. Maybe you heard that small infant. What's it? Infants? Infants. So when they do research on them, then they were shown some cartoons, and then in the cartoon it's showing that other cartoon is, we can say cartoon, right? The character is helping another character to climb up. So that infant goes like smiling and he loves it. So then another the cartoon showing that the character is harming the other character, then the infant goes like he's not happy. And then recently on the airplane, so His Holiness makes this point that infant is so innocent, so they are never taught to be this is right, this is wrong. They have their own way of thinking, which is very pure, not polluted. So if they love the gentle part, right? Gentle to the husband, right? So this should be our human nature. Once you grow up, then you listen to so many nonsense, and then there's so much ignorance in you and the ego, then that's not the way human nature it is. So on the airplane from Delhi to here, my seat is here, then in front of my seat, I guess this a lady is Israeli. So she is watching a cartoon, and that animation of the cartoon is one of my favorites. I know the story very well. It's Lion King. So you know that? Also people in Lion King. Simba. So they were. She was watching it, and then when she noticed, watching it, maybe she has watched it before. She's watching it again. Then she is looking at the sad parts. Then coming that a curb was having problem that so many buffaloes are coming. Do you remember this part? And then the king, the lion is coming to save the curb, and then finally he gives up his life to save his son. But she started crying a lot. So if we go and ask her, the lady, she will say, this is just animated, just somebody made it. But why she is crying is not because something is happening there real, because she is focusing more on the emotions. The real, something is happening, something similar in life, she's taking into real. So, okay, 2 minutes. So, my point is, the human nature that His Holiness is saying as a gentle. So there is such a great hope that then we believe in a Buddhist we talk about Buddha nature. And when we talk human nature is bigger or wider perspective way of thinking, right? So we have to decide, because that scientist has some proofs and logics that when we gossip, we feel like listen to some bad things more than the good things. But then on the other hand, when it becomes, we see something suffering on, and it is in the movies or in the real life, when you hear about it, you feel automatically disturbed, and you wish to do something for the others. So that's about the gossip. 남습니까 그게? 응?
Bad intentions.
Bad intentions. So we do have it, right? So sometimes the malice 왜? 뒤로 가다 쳐도로 그렇지. 내가 집에 들어가다. So something to harm others. So I think we need to take a break now. It's 3, right? Okay. Should we take a break? And then we continue.